Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we're going to be talking about a multi-tool that I really think Leatherman should build. On the left we have the Leatherman Wave Plus, the most popular multi-tool in the entire world. There's been more Leatherman Waves, Leatherman Wave 2nd generation, and Leatherman Wave Plus sold than any other multi-tool in existence, and for good reason. It is an excellent multi-tool. On the right we have basically the bigger brother to the Leatherman Wave Plus, and that is the Leatherman Surge, which uses the same styling cues, a bit more robust, has a little bit different tool set in it, but for me, I think it is the best multi-tool in the world, and the only one that comes close to it is going to be the Super Tool 300 and the Victorinox Swiss Tool, and their variants I think are the top dogs when it comes to fully capable toolbox approach multi-tools. Now, earlier this year, when the Free Series came out, I was really excited about the release of the Free Series. I think I was excited for it in different ways than other people, though. While most people were gravitating towards the one-hand accessibility of the multi-tool to release all of the tools, the ease of use aspect from that magnetic architecture, at the onset, even before I received mine, I felt like that was more gimmicky than it was going to be advantageous to the end user. And once I got them and really, the P2 and the P4, and really started to use them, is when I felt that my fears were justified, that I do not like the magnetic architecture in the Free Series of tools. What I was excited about with the release of the Free Series was the fact that it came in a mid-tier frame size. So on the left, the Wave Plus, it's in a standard duty multi-tool frame size at 4 inches. On the right, we have the Leatherman Surge, which comes in at a 4.5 inch frame size. And the new Free Series came in at 4 1/4, right in between the two. I was really excited about that. I thought we were going to get a tool that's going to be, the knife blades, the saws, everything is just going to be just a little bit bigger than the Waves, but just a little bit smaller than the Surge. It was going to appeal to a lot of people, and I was really excited about it for that reason. However, the fact of the matter is that is not the case. If we're going to look at the knife blades first, so we have the Wave, then the Free, and then the Surge. Now, we can definitely tell that even though the Free Series comes in at a larger overall frame size, their implements are actually not on par with that even of the smaller frame size Wave Plus. I was very disappointed with that. I was extremely disappointed with that. Here I was expecting to have something that fell right in between the two classes of these multi-tools. Even though it was a different styling, I just felt like it was going to appeal to a lot more people for that very reason. I am a big advocate for that. I think that, being a Surge user, it is a very big multi-tool to carry. And because I have pretty large hands, it just works well for me. But we'll put them side by side here, and you can kind of get an idea of the overall general size difference between the two. And the Surge is going to weigh in at about 12.5 ounces, where the Wave is about 8.5 ounces. So if they had a mid-tier size that came in between these, that basically was just an upscaled version of the Wave and the downscaled version of the Surge, I think that would be very appealing to a lot of people, even if they didn't incorporate the same tools. Not necessarily a direct carbon copy of these two multi-tools. But for me as a Surge user, there are times when away from work, I would like the ability to carry something else. My problem is when I try to go back from the Surge to the Leatherman Wave Plus, because I use the Surge day in, day out, when I grab hold of the smaller or standard duty size multi-tools, they really feel really small to me, more like toys than actual tools. And granted, multi-tools are not tools, but rather they're implements that help us, get through life's daily tasks. If you have a wire that you need to get cut, or a hinge on a cabinet that's not quite tight enough, they don't replace your toolbox. But then again, I'm not carrying a toolbox on my hip, where with the Surge, I get a lot of capability out of it, and it has saved me a lot of time over the years. The same can be said when you're looking at something like the rebar versus the Super Tool 300. I'm not necessarily advocating for the Wave Surge platform. It can be done in this platform as well. These are basically little and big brother of each other as well. But there's a big size difference between the two, and I think it would appeal to a lot of people if we had a frame size that was right in between these two, even if it was a completely and utterly redesigned multi-tool, something different than what we've got from any other of the brands of Leatherman right now, or the models of Leatherman right now, like they did with the Free Series. I would have no problem with that, unless they got, maintain the magnetic architecture. I don't agree with that. But if they went in a direction where they offered these mid-tier sizes, I think it would appeal to a lot of people. For me personally, I would have no problem downgrading away from work to go to a slightly smaller multi-tool that was still very, very capable. And I think a lot of people that are in the smaller frame multi-tools probably would not have a problem jumping up just a bit in size to find something that really fit them better. And for all those people that really feel that maybe the smaller ones are just a touch small and the bigger ones are a touch big, I think there's a market for this. I really do. And I think that's the direction that Leatherman should really focus on, as opposed to this tangent that they've gone off on with this Free Series. And now, I'm not trying to say that the Free Series is bad. It appeals to a lot of people, and that's fine. If that's your styling, that's great. They can be useful. They just don't work for me, especially because I work in a metal environment. I work with steel all the time. Magnetic architecture just does not cut it for me, and never will in that type of tool. But I think this is a direction Leatherman could go in, and it would definitely be appealing to a lot of people. You go in between these sizes, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you think this is a feasible idea, that it would catch on, or is something that you personally would consider doing, please let me know. My name's Ben, and you've been watching the Texas Tool Crib, and this is my idea of the direction that Leatherman should turn to. If you feel the same, or even if you disagree, please put it in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.